Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be exploring a lot of things. The Illuminati. Actually, I don't want Illuminati mad. Donda West's death was extremely suspicious, and today we're about to explore everything. All the news clips, people blaming each other. To this day, the death is undetermined, and we still don't know who to blame. So I'll let you guys watch everything and you can decide for yourself.
Kanye West blames himself for his mom's death. If I had never moved to LA, she'd be alive. I don't want to go far into it because it will bring me to tears. The topic came up when Kanye was asked what he had to sacrifice for his success. He said, "My mom."
YouTuber David Dobrik actually went on a podcast recently and talked about a girl he knew that was approached by the Illuminati and was asked to sacrifice her mother.
She was like, this guy came to me and he's like, I can turn you into anything you want to be, but you have to sacrifice somebody. And I just spoke to my mother, and my mom really supports me, and she's like willing to be sacrificed so I can become like famous. A singer or whatever, famous, whatever. And it was just completely serious, and it was really fucking terrifying. Really, really terrifying.
Like you believed her.
Totally believed her.
As if the Harley Pasternak comments weren't enough, there was a video released where Ye calls his mother, Donda, a sacrifice.
I ain't taking no slice to nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
He doesn't say by who. He doesn't say he sacrificed her. He just says,
my mama was sacrificed.
He then goes on to mention a bunch of other celebrities that had mysterious deaths in their family.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
Now, many people commented, people die, Ye. You don't have to make everything a conspiracy.
The plot thickens in the mystery of what killed the mom of Kanye West, Dr. Donda West.
You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to recognize that the death of Donda West was very suspicious. I wanted to go back in time and investigate what exactly happened to Donda West during that surgery.
Dr. West's sudden death on November the 10th happened just a day after undergoing breast reduction, liposuction, and a tummy tuck by cosmetic surgeon and television host Dr. Jan Adams, but the report found no sign of surgical or anesthetic mistakes.
So most people thought Donda died on the operating table in surgery. Donda actually died the next day at home under the care of a few family members.
Donda West survived the surgery very well. She was at home.
Did anything during that surgery go wrong?
No.
Were there any complications during the surgery?
No.
Was there anything prior to the operation that gave you pause about operating on this woman?
No.
Who is Dr. Jan Adams?
Nationally prominent cosmetic surgeon with his own TV show, The Other Half.
Things that go wrong don't go wrong that day. They generally go wrong 2 weeks after, a month after.
Dr. Jan Adams was not only a plastic surgeon, he was also a television presenter and had appeared on Oprah. The guy had an IMDb page. He also wasn't board certified, which isn't necessarily a deal breaker, as there are a lot of plastic surgeons that do perform these surgeries without that certification. Adams wasn't the first plastic surgeon Donda talked to. She actually consulted with another Beverly Hills surgeon who told CNN he refused to operate on Donda as he believed she had a heart condition.
Andre Abolian, a Beverly Hills surgeon who told CNN he refused to operate on Donda West, has said that Ye's mom might have had a heart condition that may have led to her post-surgery death. He said, "I always insist on a medical clearance for women over 40, and in this instance, it was particularly important because of a condition she had that I felt could have led to a heart attack."
One of Donda's close friends and nutritionist, Sharon Winbush, called into the Sasha K show years after Donda's death. Sharon tells Tasha that Donda was in great health despite these other reports.
She went on and got a full medical exam, her and Kanye at Cedars-Sinai, and she got a clean bill of health. Now, as her nutritionist, I know what Donda was eating. I know what she was putting into her body. We exercised every day. Donda was in the best health of her life. So there was no health issue as to why she couldn't have done the surgery.
Sharon said that Adams was recommended to Donda by two friends, one who was the widow of Barry White.
And he also did some surgery on Glody White, Barry White's widow. So both of them had talked to Donda and, assured her that this guy was a good surgeon and the best to do the job and that sort of thing.
Sharon had emailed Donda trying to talk her out of the surgery. And once Donda saw the email, she started having second thoughts herself.
What I found out later was once she got my email, she did call the doctor and tried to cancel her appointment. But he told her he wouldn't refund her money if she canceled. So she went on and went through with the surgery.
Superstar Kanye West is mourning the death of his mother today.
And Dr. Adams quickly found himself being blamed. Critics accused Adams of performing too many procedures on the 5'2", 188-pound former English professor.
Dr. Adams said he was encouraging Donda to stay at the medical facility to recover.
But he claims she insisted that her nephew, a nurse with a PhD in public health, care for her at her home.
So this is where it gets weird. The surgeon that performed cosmetic surgery on Donda West pointed the blame on Ye's cousin, Stephen Scoggins, who was a registered nurse allegedly assigned to take care of her in post-op.
Her nurse wasn't there.
When she died, Stephen Scoggins decided to leave and go to a birthday party or bridal shower, baby shower.
Her nurse was gone to a baby shower rather than taking care of his aunt.
The coroner filed a complaint with the state nursing board saying Scoggins left Ms. West in the care of laypersons, and she was left alone and unmonitored when she went into cardiac arrest.
There was a really suspicious 911 call that was, of course, obtained by TMZ.
We have to issue a trigger warning here because this phone call is very disturbing and devastating.
Fire department paramedics, what's the address emergency, please?
She just had surgery. She just had breast.
Give me the address first, ma'am. Ma'am? Tell me what happened. Ma'am, what is the problem? Tell me exactly what happened.
I can hear you.
Now, what happened? Why are you calling?
Because she's having a heart attack. She's dying. She's not breathing. And she's not moving. I'm trying to do CPR.
Ma'am, how old is this person?
She's 58 years old.
58? Okay, 58. Now, you're doing CPR? Ma'am, is she not breathing at all?
Her medication. She complained she couldn't breathe.
Ma'am, okay, so she's not... Ma'am, she's not breathing?
She can't breathe.
Okay, is she breathing?
No, she's not.
She's not breathing?
No, she threw up all this black stuff around her mouth and we trying to do CPR on her.
Okay, so she's not breathing at all?
She's not responding.
Okay, but I want to know if she's breathing. Is she breathing at all?
She's cold and clammy.
Okay, ma'am, is she breathing?
No.
During the call, the medical professional gave instructions on CPR, telling Donda's best friend to lay her flat on the ground with no pillows underneath her head. She refused.
Ma'am, do you need instruction on CPR?
Hey, we need a heavy board. Give me a heavy board.
Ma'am, we've already got people on the way to you, okay?
Dr. West.
Ma'am, are you on speakerphone? If you can put me on regular phone, that'd be better.
We're on regular phone.
Okay, ma'am, is she... Okay, so are you doing CPR at this time?
No, we get ready to start.
Okay, do you need instructions? I can tell you what to do.
Take this off, lift her head.
Okay, we want to lay her flat on the ground, no pillows, nothing underneath her head.
I can't move her from the bed, but she just has to...
Is she in a hospital bed? Ma'am, is she in a hospital bed?
Huh?
Is she in a hospital bed?
Dr. West, come on. Come on. Listen, be careful.
Ma'am, is she in a hospital bed?
Come on. Sorry?
Is she in a hospital bed?
Huh?
Is she in a hospital bed?
No, she's in a regular bed.
A regular bed?
Yes.
There's no way to get her on the floor?
No, there's no way you can put her on the floor. Let's clear her airway. We're trying to clear her airway.
We've already got... Okay, what you want to do is turn on her left side. Okay, did you hear that?
I'm clearing out her...
Okay, turn her on her left side.
No.
One of the women on the scene began to hyperventilate, to which everyone in the room began making sure that she was okay, rather than Dr. West. Just listen to this.
Get an ambulance here now. I got 2 people on me.
Ma'am. Hello? Ma'am, is that person breathing? Who is doing the noise?
Dr. Adams says Donda West was left lying flat on her back, causing her to choke to death.
This lady shouldn't be dead. All you had to do is sit her up. And every nurse on the planet knows that.
Scoggins has denied all Adams' allegations that he's to blame for her death, and the nursing board dismissed the complaint against him.
This call is suspicious for a few reasons. To this day, we don't know who those two women were on the phone. Their names have never been released. Stephen didn't speak out about what happened until 8 years later, when he tried to clear his name. He went on a TV show and showed an email from Donda, proving that he never was assigned to take care of her.
And Scoggins says he's got the smoking gun evidence to prove it. Emails he exchanged with Donda the night before her surgery.
Don't hesitate to let me know if you need anything.
Emails that he's sharing publicly for the first time ever, right here on Crime Watch Daily.
This is the part that I feel as if she's speaking from the grave. If you could come by on Friday evening or even call, that would be great. That clearly never suggested that I was going to be providing her post-operative care.
So then why did Donda leave the hospital? Why was she released without the proper post-op care? And who were these two random women taking care of her? Donda mentioned she was in a lot of pain after the surgery. Adams kind of suggested that maybe they gave her too much Vicodin.
No one shoved 20 pills down her throat in 2 hours. That didn't happen.
Donda's friend Sharon sided with Scoggins and blamed the surgeon.
Where I blame him is she called to cancel her appointment and he refused. You do not force someone into a surgery. I know with 100% certainty she called him to cancel her appointment. And out of greed, out of whatever his motivation was, he, said, I'm not giving you your money back if you do. So you're basically forcing her to do something that she was uneasy about. So I fault him more than anybody.
You're known as the doctor who killed Donda West.
Kanye West can end this by telling the truth.
And what do you believe that truth is?
The doctor had nothing to do with his mom's death.
The coroner was unable to determine the exact cause of death, but did not fault Adams.
The toxicology results were released this morning, and her exact cause of death is shockingly still unknown.
It is ruled as undetermined.
Besides holding himself accountable, I wondered who was Ye holding accountable for all this. In 2018, he publicly posted a photo of Dr. Adams telling his friend that he wants to heal and stop hating. He said he wanted to make Adams his new album cover. Adams obviously was not happy with this. He wrote him an extremely long letter telling him to point the blame elsewhere.
My point to Kanye is tell what he knows, point the finger at who the coroner pointed at. The truth, when you bury it, just grows bigger.
Ye actually tweeted him back and said, "Open letter from Jan Adams. This is amazing. Thank you so much for this connection, brother. I can't wait to sit with you and start healing." So during the time that Donda died, Ye was actually on tour in London. Once he got the news, he flew back immediately. Obviously, he was devastated, but that didn't stop him from going back on tour just 12 days later. Ye ends up working really, really hard for that entire next year.
If she was here, she would tell me to get on that stage and kill it, dog. She would tell me to go on this glow in the dark tour and take over the world and be number one like how I taught you to be, baby.
Ye said that the grief of Donda dying was just too much for him to express through rap, so he wanted to learn how to sing. He met Michael Jackson at Leor Cohen's house, and Michael Jackson encouraged him to start singing. If you guys remember a few weeks ago, an old clip of Leor Cohen on The Breakfast Club resurfaced.
It's the most dangerous thing that's facing our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
But I'm saying that's hypocritical, though. You're saying
it's opportunistic. Yeah. I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Who's Dame Dash?
The guy never had the proper amount of time to grieve. And then just a year later is when the infamous Taylor Swift moment happens. That is when Ye became the media's biggest villain from here on out.
Let me ask something. I was fortunate enough to meet your mom and talk with your mom a number of years ago. What do you think she would have said about this? Would she be disappointed in this? Would she give you a lecture?
Yeah, obviously, I deal with hurt, and, so many, celebrities, they never take the time off, and I've never taken the time off to really, just music after music and tour after tour and tour, and I'm just ashamed that my hurt caused, someone else's hurt. My dream of what award shows were supposed to be caused, and I don't try to justify it because I was just in the wrong.
Despite Ye apologizing, the public never forgave him for this.
I immediately knew in this situation that it was wrong, and it wasn't a spectacle or just, it's actually someone's emotions, that I stepped on, and it was rude, period. And, I'd like to be able to apologize to her in person, and, I wanted to.
People to this day still bring up the Taylor Swift interruption. He admits in the Jay Leno interview that he never had time to grieve and that he wanted to be better.
But I need to, after this, take some time off and just analyze how I'm gonna, make it through the rest of this life, how I'm gonna improve.
I found it interesting that just a few weeks after his mom died, Lyor Cohen introduces him to Michael Jackson. There's a lot of parallels to Ye and Michael Jackson and what they're saying about the media.
And then one day we went to like a Hollywood party, and I don't want to say the names that were there, but they were like these big Hollywood guys who've been around for a really long time. Like, they're like, when you think of like old Hollywood, these are the names that come up.
Yeah.
And she was talking to one of them. She was an attractive person. So the guys at the party were like into her, and they're like listening to what she was saying. And she was just like, yeah, I was approached by the Illuminati. And this one guy goes, please do not listen to anything they have to say. They ruined my best friend's life. And he was referring to Michael Jackson. And he's like, they ruined my friend's life. They're horrible people. And it was fucking insane. And I was sitting there. This was like a 4 a.m. conversation. And I was sitting there just like.
Sway said that Ye always denied being in the Illuminati.
Did you ever ask Ye about that?
I never asked him about the Illuminati, but just in conversation, I hear him be like, man, people saying I'm part of the Illuminati, people are crazy.
You can call Ye crazy all you want, but there's no denying that the death of Donda West was extremely suspicious. So the news reported that Donda had passed away during a cosmetic procedure, which basically shifted all of the blame onto the surgeon.
How bad has your practice been affected by this publicity?
Horribly. It's almost destroyed.
Does that surprise you?
It surprises me because I have to ask myself, when people attack you like that, and I'm talking the press, you have to say, why do they fear you? Because generally people attack someone who they fear.
What happens next? You and I both know that so many people believe that Kanye West losing his mother in the way that he did, that was a switch, that changed Kanye, and that it explains some of the things we see now happening in his life.
I agree with you. I think it's definitely safe to bring up. I think it's a fair argument to make. My mother was one of those mothers that went above and beyond what is expected from a mother. Kanye's mother did the same. So I know what that feeling's like, to have a mother that just supported you, is really truly your anchor, because she supported you. And to lose that, I could only imagine losing my mother now and what that would do to me psychologically. And I'm 43, so I could imagine losing that in my late 20s or my early 30s. Like, how do you even recover from that?
I don't think the music industry ever gave Ye enough time to grieve and process his mother's death. They had him on the road right away. And I don't think the media ever forgave him for the Taylor Swift incident. And I think things just snowballed. And now for the last 14 years, we're just seeing Ye fighting every day for his voice to be heard. And I just think it's a tragic story. To this day, this death is very suspicious. TMZ was doing anything they could to put all the blame on Dr. Adams. I think it's weird that TMZ is always at the center of all of this drama. They had the 911 ambulance tape when Harley Pasternak got Ye rushed to the hospital. They also were the outlet that obtained the 911 dispatch call. Despite the entire world hearing this call that they released, showing that it was very clear that the two women on the phone were ignoring the directions from the guy telling them to do CPR, the whole world still blamed the surgeon, which I think is weird because anyone that listens to that audio would find the whole entire situation suspicious. Why did Donda leave the hospital saying she had a registered nurse taking care of her? Why did the nurse say that was never the plan? I don't know. You guys can talk about it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and more videos will be on the way. Sorry this one took me a little extra time. Bye.